What up? We are full of new energy up in here. This is the crossover is over. We are into old school with Austin, myself, and Nate O'Brennan.
What up?
2 days left of gracing us with his presence. Old School is brought to you by the Mercado certified Piedmontese and special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. I always say every type of meat, every type of cut. And then I say, what's up? So that's what you do when you go in there. You say, what's up? You want every type of meat, every type of cut. We need to get the Mercado to have like the J Foreman package special, so they could just go in there.
The Foreman?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, the Tomahawk special.
Strick's got Strick's picks at Myers Cork and Bottle.
We had to figure something out. So we got to work on that. We got to get Jake to work. We got to get Jake. Jake's down in Miami. Can't hook up like no deals. You could get a Valentine's Day special, and he's nowhere to be found. And he's gonna come back.
That's a pretty good idea. I bet you they're reserved already for the upstairs,
but not in the butcher shop.
Very true.
Cook
dinner for your lady.
That's right. Don't burn the meat. Nice, slow and low. Anyways,
Drumstick says, just, if you guys haven't heard yet, I'm going to Kansas City, so moving next week. Got a job at the CBS station in Kansas City, so it's been a pleasure. If you guys are hearing this for the first time, I've said it quite a few times. I appreciate all of you. You guys have been awesome. I feel like it's just so crazy now. It feels like Nebraska's just become my home. I did not expect for this to happen. You guys welcome me in with open arms. It's been a pleasure working for the ticket. It's been a pleasure working for 10-11. I appreciate all you guys, but I'll still be on here and there. It'll be a little bit.
You ain't
different.
going nowhere.
It'll be a little different, but I'll still come on from time to time. But making the trip over to Kansas City, and I've heard good things too. So if you guys have any recommendations of places to go in Kansas City, because I've only been like 3 times, but I've heard the barbecue is excellent. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. Now I'm gonna have to become a Royals fan.
Yeah, about time. Do it.
I don't know.
It'll suck. But
I was about to say,
I'll find what sucks.
I don't want to be sad. Actually, interestingly enough, I played baseball in middle school with Vinny Pasquantino.
Oh, I love Vinny.
Yeah, I
Really?
played with him.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's from Richmond. Played with him in middle school. Let's just say he elevated his game a little bit more than me.
Yeah.
So he's now playing for the
you,
Royals.
You couldn't hit the changeup or the curve?
Couldn't hit the curve.
Yeah.
Get a fastball. It's fine.
Yeah.
I can hit a fastball. Give me the curve. I do the
Yeah.
way out in front of it.
I got you on that. I think that's everybody that played baseball.
It is tough to hit a curveball. But that's the thing, too. And like a lot of people say it's tough to hit a fastball. It doesn't matter how hard you throw. I can hit a fastball. Could not hit a
curveballs move.
to
Fastballs
save
go
my
straight.
life.
You time it up, that's all you need.
Could not hit a curveball to save my life. It was my downfall.
You could even hit the high inside fastball.
The high cheese?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, not a curveball. Couldn't hit a curveball. I was a better defensive player, too. I wasn't a great hitter.
I wanted to ask you guys, now that you got the first recruiting class is done. And as they're moving on, got some, transfer portal guys in this weekend. I wanted to ask you, about the biggest probably transfer portal guy they got already in the first class, which is Jeff Sims and Casey, the quarterback battle. How do you envision that happening? Now, I know there was some so-called tea leaves, and when Matt Rule spoke about Jeff Sims, it was glowing, and then Casey was kind of like a throw-in. But it's hard for me to imagine somebody just coming and supplanting Casey when Casey is healthy, because he played some pretty dang good football. So I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about that. What do you think would happen, and what should happen, in your opinion?
This is the bigger question for me, because I agree with you, Jay. I think it would be very difficult for someone to step in here unless you're talking about a Sam Hartman or Grayson McCall.
Sure.
Okay,
right.
sure.
Hey, he's out of the portal.
I did see that. He's staying
back
at
to Coastal.
He's staying at Coastal. But if it's a guy like that, sure. A Jeff Sims, you'd be very hard pressed for me to say that he's going to elevate his game to take over the position of a guy who led the Big 12 in touchdowns 2 seasons ago and was by far and away your best option at quarterback last season for the team that he's returning to. With that being said, though, Jay, I think the conversation more needs to be, if you're Casey Thompson, do you stay?
Yeah, you stay. Casey Thompson, we heard him lay out his plan last year for his post-playing days. obviously, if he had a good year last season, would have taken a shot in the draft as he should have.
Right.
But didn't go according to plan. Maybe he does, but he's going to be an old prospect. If he's not ready to step in as a starter in the NFL from day one, for me to think he'd be able to stick as a backup at this age. Jumping in right now
depends on the team, and age doesn't mean anything anymore because the NFL is shuffling guys in so fast. And you know what? If he checks out healthy, I see Casey playing, and just because he can lead. And, the worst case scenario, the way they do practice squad, they've expanded the practice squad. He's going to have options. I mean, heck, he could even go to Canada and play for a while where, he can use his athletic ability and not get hit as much. If he chooses to pursue it, it can happen.
But if he doesn't choose, seems like you have a bright future. Got to play in for the business he wants to start.
Right.
You take that NIL money.
Yeah.
You absolutely stick around for that NIL money to help get your business off on the right foot.
Well,
I don't think Casey's the type of guy that would stick around just for the money. Right. He's going to be a competitor. He's going to give it his all. Yeah. And even in the 1 year that, he's been here, he's turned into one of my favorite players in a while. I like Casey Thompson. I think he stands for a lot of the right stuff.
Right.
He'd compete his butt off. Writing on the wall, tea leaves, like you said, sounds like it's going to be Jeff Sims. I'm rooting for Casey. I'm not sold on Jeff Sims as much as Matt Rule seems to be. So I'm rooting for Casey to win the job. But either way, I think he still sticks around.
I think he does because also, really, to be honest with you, we haven't had a quarterback that's been able to answer the bell for 12 straight games anyways.
Yeah.
And he has some good tape from this year. So it's not like they don't know where to look, find him. He has good tape from Texas. And he has intangibles. And, if he has the right NIL money and stuff like that, it's going to worth his time. He's going to be there. Because, look, Casey Thompson isn't a detriment to have on your team in any capacity. So I think he'll be fine. It'll be interesting to see what happens, how it goes. You got two quarterbacks that's had battled injuries their whole career. How they use them in the offensive system is going to be interesting to see how that shakes out, not only for them individually, as quarterbacks, but collectively as a team, because how that situation is handled is a huge part on how the season starts, continues along and finishes. It's huge.
I just look at Casey Thompson, and I think the market, the transfer portal at least, for Casey Thompson would be pretty high. Like I think if he did decide to enter the transfer portal, he would have options. For crying out loud, like Adrian Martinez went to Kansas State and played in the the Fiesta Bowl? What was what Kansas State or Sugar Bowl? Goes and plays in Sugar Bowl. Like a team like Kansas State is not out of the realm of possibilities for Casey Thompson. That's the only issue that worries me with Casey. Do I agree? I think that he probably will stay. I think that he should stay. But let's not act like he's not going to have other options. He will have other places to go.
Oh yeah, he's a good quarterback.
He is.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. He's tough. And you never know, there'll be somebody that might get hurt during the spring. And they need a guy that's this is like free agency. So I think it's a good problem to have to have two quarterbacks, X, Y, and Z. But it's a good situation to have where you have two guys that you realistically, both of them have played. Mm-hmm. It's really going to be a competition when Casey gets healthy, and it's only going to make your team better. Now you got to make sure that you make an unbiased decision. And if you do get to the same decision that you might have been biased with, that you have to make sure that the communication lines is open with the guy that doesn't get the job. So that way you can keep the team focused in the right spot.
Sim still has a red shirt, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he's 3 for 2 or something like that.
Right. So now that he's coming to sit, that could be an option, though, if he wants an extra year to learn the playbook, get to know some of the guys that are going to be around. That's why I think it'd be tough for Casey to transfer, because he's going to be learning a new system anyways.
Right.
Whether he goes somewhere else or stays in Nebraska. Right. But at least in Nebraska, he knows some of those guys. He knows Marcus Washington from previous transfer.
He knows both the running backs.
Both running backs.
He knows Fedoni and all those guys, even though they didn't play last year. So, that's a guy that's very familiar with the roster more than any of the coaches. And
you want that around in a transition year.
Right. And a guy that knows how to play in the Big Ten.
And I think this would be an actual quarterback controversy, because that Chuba last year, I don't know if anyone was really buying that. Like it was an open competition, but I think this would be a legitimate.
It was getting pushed,
open
but
competition.
it definitely wasn't. The reality of it wasn't close. So we shall see. Well, we got Thirsty Thursday coming up.
Thursday. I just saw Kevin Meyer in the hall.
He's bringing some goodies. So we're gonna go to a little break, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna have Thirsty Thursday, and head on towards the bottom of the hour.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile at 27 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado ingredients you can't find anywhere every day. Full exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-clean protein powder ideal for anyone wanting to look better, feel better, or perform better. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? Worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are rocking in Louisville. We've got transport showing up every day. Lots of inventory, lots of new trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. Our pre-owned inventory is also filling up fast. Our GMC Terrain inventory is really filling up fast, so we're putting special pricing on those right now. This is the time to check out our GMC Terrains, as we've got all models with a great selection of colors at a discounted price. So please stop in or check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Connecticut Cox on West O Street.
Big stores are tempted for your in sports or for your sports leisures, but buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Barn Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Barn Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacant for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Yes, sir.
She.
That was a good one.
That was a good one too.
Yeah.
Pop, pop, as Strick would say.
Yeah. Where's old Stricky today?
He
He's
was
at
in
cruising-
Miami,
he's at
and
cruising altitude right now.
then he was
Wow.
in England, and now he's going to Dallas. We don't really know.
He's in Amsterdam right now.
Kevin, you'll know what this means. He's doing strict things.
Yes.
He's doing strict things. I
Strick
think
is
that's
as Strick does.
I think that's the best way to describe it. So what's going on? What do we got today? How
Well,
you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see you.
This is our last Thirsty Thursday.
I know. Well, see, I wasn't going to bring that up, but now that you brought that up, now we can reference it. That's just sad, Kevin. This is usually the best part of the week. You know, everyone's kind of coming down to the wire. Just got to get through Friday, get some liquid courage going in for the second hour of old school. It's a good time.
Thursday starts the weekend, baby.
That's right.
Yeah. But well, congrats on your new
I
gig.
appreciate that.
We're
Kevin.
gonna miss you for sure. Not to be too sappy, but you know, I feel like you're one of us now. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to not let that
Going
relationship.
on, it's like a family member going off to college, getting their first big job.
That's right.
I know.
You
But
know.
it's thanks to you guys. I mean, you guys have made it awesome. And Kevin, we appreciate you coming in as always. And you've now made me a wine guy. So
Hey,
I will
that's-
credit you for that. You said you've always made someone a wine guy. So
I've done the show with literally every employee that's ever been had at the ticket, and most of them who didn't start out wine guys end up becoming one by the time they're done.
I am. Now I prefer red wine too, which is weird.
At a kid,
I don't know how I feel.
Add a
about
kid.
it. I don't know how I
Austin,
feel
are
about it.
you a wine guy?
I would be lying if I said I was. Communion wine. That's about what I got right
All
now.
right, here we
Yeah.
go.
So-
Next man up.
next project. That's, right. Next man up.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
good. It's good luck to be a wine guy, Austin. You get to moving on up. Like
That's right. You become a man.
man,
Sure.
Nate.
That's right.
right.
Something like that. All right, Kevin. What are we looking at today?
So-
What do we got?
So Lincoln's newest brewery is called Corn Coast, and they're located over off of around 14th and Yankee Hill area, and they just became available in cans here at the shop. And so I thought I'd bring in Corn Coast because, you know, I always want to support local as much as possible. And they've got a great little spot, cool little tap room, and make some really, really good beers. And this one won some awards. It's what they call a Citra Soaker, which is a double hazy IPA with 100% Citra hops. And basically what makes an IPA an IPA, it stands for India Pale Ale, is the dry hopping. And what that is essentially is at the end of fermentation, they add dry hops to the beer to up the alcohol content a little bit. It also adds some bitterness, but
How about that?
Yeah.
Now we're
How-
talking my language,
yeah,
Kevin.
That's
Yeah.
right up his
Hey, a
alley.
little smirk over there.
Yeah.
how it got started was the merchant ships that were traveling from England to India, and they would trade for spices and tapestries and things like that. Well, the local beer would spoil because they didn't have, you know, sanitized bottles and things like that. And there was one brewery along this pathway that made their beer a little bit differently, that upped the alcohol content. And so it was a traditional English pale ale, but they started calling it an India pale ale because
of their trips to India. So the beer was never actually made in India. It just had to do with the ships that were traveling to India to trade. And so that's essentially how it got started. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of hops, but Citra hops are one of the most prevalent and most preferred in doing an IPA. And then this is a double IPA, so they actually ferment it twice, and again ups the alcohol content from a normal like 5.5%, 6%, usually into that 7 to 8% range. This one's it's definitely cloudy, has kind of an almost looks like orange juice, and
kind of like a mimosa almost.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And this one is not a real bitter IPA. No. It's kind of a sweeter style. And they can use lactose to sweeten it up and cut some of the bitterness as well. But it also has to do with the amount of oats that they're using, what the malt bill is, all that kind of stuff. And when they actually do the hops will dictate how fruity or dry or bitter the hop blend is. And so this is kind of a sweeter style.
Well, I'm glad that you brought this one in, Kevin, because I've always been curious. Like it's pretty citrusy. You can taste it. How do they get that taste? Are they putting actual fruit into the concoction?
No, that actually comes from the hops itself.
Okay.
And different hops will have different flavor characteristics. That's one of the reasons why the Citra hop is more popular, is because it gets at that citrusy taste. I think also that's why it's named the name that it is.
Right.
But there's literally like 100 or more different varieties of hops, and they're all related to each other. They're actually related to the hemp plant, believe it or not.
Okay.
And
there it is.
So and
they're
like these little pine cone looking things. They're about the size of your thumb. And what they do, once they pick them, they dry them, and then they pelletize them. So they kind of get compressed into these little pellets. But what gives the hop its characteristic is these little sticky yellow flower stamen. They're called lupulin glands inside of the hop, and that's what gives the hop its character.
How long did it take you to learn all of this stuff?
I learn every day, man.
See, I was trying to throw you off right there and be like, I'm going to get him right here. Never been able to get him.
It's been my full-time career for nearly 25 years in the wine and liquor business. And the crazy thing is that you never learn everything there is to know. All you do is open doors into areas you didn't even know existed before. So it's like the more you learn, the less you know. And I feel like I learn every day. So awesome. That's the fun part of the job.
It is fun. Old, and it's always fun what you bring us too. What are you smiling at,
Jay?
What?
Yeah, I'm just
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I know
it's
you
Thirsty
are.
Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I need Strick here. Strick's always enjoying himself on Thirsty Thursday.
That's
something
like
that.
That's an understatement.
He's enthusiastic.
Let's just say he likes Thirsty Thursday, to say the least.
Jay's got to go coach basketball tonight, so he's not participating. So it's
that citrus thing. It does look good though.
It is good. You should try. You try a sip of it.
No, man, I can't do that. You got to exercise some discipline.
You got to be on your A game. I'm exercising no discipline.
Right, you be out there, teeth all red and everything.
That's a foul.
Boys.
That's a foul.
Yeah, that's right.
He said he drank grape juice.
That's right. Something like that. All right, Kevin, what are we looking at here? It looks like a Strick's pick.
So yeah, it kind of is.
Okay.
This is called Mouton Cadet, and it
delicious.
is a French Bordeaux, which the Bordeaux region is sort of the southwest part of the country of France. And they can use up to 5 different grape varietals to make the wine from. Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot are the 2 big ones that occupy the majority of the blend. And then there's 3 others, Cabernet Franc, which is actually a parent grape of Cabernet Sauvignon, Petit Verdot, and Malbec are the others. And those are generally more just blending quantities, not the majority of the wine itself. And the region is essentially shaped like a banana, and the reason it's shaped like that is because of the river that runs through it. It's called the Gironde River. And the further north you are, most of the vineyards are located on the left side of the river, and the soil types are more suitable for Cabernet on that side. Well, the further south you get, the vineyards jump to the other side, and the soil types are more suitable for Merlot. And so it's what they call the right bank and left bank, respectively. Okay. But usually on the left side, there'll be around 55% Cab, maybe 40% Merlot, and then 5% of the other 3. On the right side, it's going to be reversed. Usually, almost 70-80% Merlot, and then 20% of the others. But this is from the Rothschild family, which is one of the most famous and prestigious wine producing families in France. And they're most famous for what they call their Premier Grand Cru estate. It's called Chateau Mouton Rothschild. And basically back in 1855, the French set forth to delineate the chateaus and the vineyards that had the greatest history of quality and prestige. And so there were only 5 that got that Premier Grand Cru designation. And what a cru is, it just means growth. It's almost like, it's just a category, right? So it's like, that would be like majors, and then you got AAA, AA, single A, except they call them first growth, second growth, third growth, etc. So there was only 5 first growth estates that they thought were prestigious and historical enough to receive that designation. So this family is one of them: Chateau Mouton Rothschild, there's Chateau Lafite Rothschild, Chateau Margaux, Chateau Haut-Brion, and now I'm forgetting the 5th one, but I got 4 out of 5.
Sounds good to me. Well, Kevin, I got to ask you. So red wines, this one, again, you can tell us how much it costs, but because that's the one thing I still have not been able to decipher. I've learned quite a bit from you, but I still have not been able to realize like why some wines are more expensive than others, because I think that you can taste the difference, but I never feel like the cost of it goes into that.
So a lot of it has to do with quantity. So the fewer the bottles produced, obviously, then create a product that is more handmade, more attention to detail. And there's a lot of things that go into that. Number one, where the grapes are grown. That's a huge part of it. There are some areas in the world that are better suitable for vineyards or high level quality wines than others. The size of the barrels that the wines are put in, the number of years aged in the barrel, what type of oak they're using. Are they using French oak, American oak, Slovenian oak? And then even when you get within those categories, there's subcategories of barrels that have different grain widths and things of that nature. And so a lot of it is artistry, talent, prestige, location, all of that goes into it. And then, but I will say, once you sort of get beyond that sort of $75 a bottle price point, sometimes you're no longer buying really what's in the bottle. You're buying some component of either collectability or prestige, because you sort of run out of what you can do from a quality standpoint at that point. But, so if, like, say as an example, let's just take Yellowtail as an example. Everyone's heard of that. It's got the cute little kangaroo on the label. You can buy it at every grocery store in the world. Well, what happened in Australia is that they experienced a really big boom in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they were planting a new vineyard literally every 48 hours, trying to capitalize on the popularity of Australian wines. And the reason Australian wines became popular was because you got a consistent quality bang for your buck value. And they had a flagship grape called Shiraz, or you can call it Syrah. Shiraz and Syrah are the same thing. And what happened was you got a bunch of people trying to capitalize financially off the wine business that didn't really have a passion for it. And so the quality went down because they're planting grapes all over the place and just, and so what happened, there was a glut. And so what they did was they came up with this, what do you think of when you think of Australia? Kangaroo, right? So they were buying up all this extra bad juice that no one could do anything with. They put a cute little kangaroo on the front and it shattered every
branding. There you go.
Record there ever was. But what happened was what put them on the map in terms of providing good value in terms of quality for the buck took them off the map because now they were making trash. And so it went from being the fastest growing wine industry in the world to now the slowest.
Really?
And so, when you start talking about quality, there are no shortcuts. And when you try to take shortcuts, that interferes with the quality. They also started fermenting these wines and basically almost look like a cement truck. You know how the big cylinders, they spin on their side? They created this rotary fermenter that was basically a big cement truck. And so instead of allowing the wine to sort of sit and ferment and do its thing, they're just stirring it up by rotating it, and created this product that was plasticky and just not very good. And but they were trying to churn out this juice so quickly that they lost sight of quality. So all of those things come into factor. But like I said, once you get on beyond that $75 to $100 price point, you're really not gaining quality. You're gaining more prestige and collectability.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kevin, Steve says, awesome. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday. You'll be a wine guy soon. That is true. Look at me. I'm
looking forward to it.
Nick is getting there slowly but surely. Nick's getting there.
Yeah.
He says, I became a wine guy just a few years ago. Kevin, you are very good at making people a wine guy. So people want to come check you out, want to come know what they're looking at, what they're looking for. You can help them out with that.
Absolutely. Yep. We're located on the corner of 13th and South. And just, I mean, if you want to come pick our brain or say, hey, I haven't really had a wine that I like,
which is what I do.
Where should I start?
Yeah.
Or I did have this one that I liked. What else can I try? The other thing that we just started is we are doing an annual fundraiser, and what we do is we hold back our hardest to get bourbons. So if you're a whiskey guy, whiskeys are huge right now, we held back our hardest to get bourbons in 2022. And so we have 27 bottles, and we, for every pair of socks you bring in, you get a number for a chance to be able to buy these really rare and hard to get bourbons at a fair retail price. And so last year we collected 15,000 pairs of socks for the city mission. We're doing that again. Wow. So if you're a whiskey guy, we've got some Van Winkle, we've got Elmer T. Lee, we've got there's 27 bottles of these really hard to get whiskeys. And so that's going all of January. Okay. And that's a fun thing to do to get a fair chance at being able to buy it and also do something good for the community. So like I said, last year we collected 15,000 pairs of socks for the city mission. They were blown away. It's their number one most requested item. Mm-hmm. And so we're doing that all January as well.
That's awesome. If you can tell us one more time what we have today, anything else going on in the shop?
Yeah. So what we are having is beer wise is called Corn Coast Citrus Soaker, and they are Lincoln's newest brewery, and Chateau Mouton Cadet from Bordeaux in the southwestern part of France. The wine goes for under $20. I believe they're $18.99. And the Citrus Soaker is a hazy double IPA that does not drink bitter. It has that nice citrusy quality to it, and it's just a good tasting beer.
Absolutely. Well, Kevin, one more time, you can let people know your location, and I'll go ahead and let you close it out one more time too. So you're not closing out the show, you're just sending us to break. I only have one more time I can do this. Okay. Kevin.
Yeah, we're located at the corner of 13th and South. You can reach us at 402-476-1518. But coming back after break, old school with DP and Jay, but no DP, just Jay and
Nate and Austin.
Yeah.
93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket and 937theticket.com. Check us out on all the various medias.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golf, the best courses in the world. Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is your high school minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In boys high school basketball on Tuesday, January 3rd, Parkview Christian won over Lincoln Christian 66-52. In switching to girls, Lincoln Christian beat Parkview Christian 38-23. Lincoln High dominated Omaha Burke 76-31. In the boys basketball ratings from the Lincoln Journal-Star, Bellevue West sits at number 1 in Clay with a 10-0 record. The next closest city school is Lincoln High at number 4 with an 8-1 record. Lincoln East sits at number 7 with a 5-2 record, and Lincoln Southeast sits at 8 with a 5-4 record. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Big box stores are tempting for buying a high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses and be at Linkford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margarita, like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday night or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says, thank you to the people of your community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and 432-6740.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for technicians of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package with 100% paid employee health insurance, paid time off, paid parental and bereavement leave, an annual recreation bonus, and a boot and clothing allowance. Landmark offers the latest certified John Deere training so you're up to date with the newest equipment and technology. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmark.careers. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We are back, old school. Jay Foreman, Nate, Brennan, Austin. Just had Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Meyer. Some good options there. Still have the wine here. I don't know who's gonna take this home. You gonna take this home too, Nate?
I guess I will. Yeah.
Yeah. If the Strick's not here.
Strick usually takes it home.
We're at the bottom of the hour, so we're gonna. I wanted to ask you guys, just in short, since we're kind of not in a dead period, but they're about to get started back here within a few days that the school's about to start back. What's your overall, especially you, Austin, just because I obviously talk to Nate a lot, so you're just here. What's your overall take on the rule staff since they've kind of come to completion? And then the other part is like the state of the program, where Nebraska's at right now.
With the coaching staff, I'm in wait and see mode. I was a big fan of the rule hire. And so for that reason, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt on the coaches for now. I see some things that certainly I question, guys that I've not heard of, but if I was that in on Matt Rule, I think he was a good hire. I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to be, running my mouth that I don't know for sure. So I'm willing to give these guys, Coach Rule, the benefit of the doubt for now. State of the program, it's a yikes. It doesn't seem like it's in a good spot, obviously. But like we were talking about, was that just yesterday, 2 days ago? I mean, TCU's in the national championship game. Oregon State, whatever they're, playing with, and whatever Florida was down, I don't care. Oregon State just smacked Florida in a bowl game. Yeah. That happened. Tulane, 2 wins to 12 wins. That's probably not going to happen at Nebraska, but there's no
Something
reason
in between can
it can't.
happen, though, right?
Absolutely, it can. So I will always talk myself into the team, having a path. I find it so simple, so easy to do. Every year I will. Then we get to the start of the season, I got to remind myself, it might not be this year. It's got to happen again. Results-oriented business, not just process. So I don't think it's doom and gloom. I don't think the program is in, an unsavable spot, but I certainly recognize that there is that work to do, and I'm willing to give this coaching staff the chance to put in the work they think needs to be done.
Nate, I want to ask you, where do you expect the program to be in the 1 to 3 years? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for you to be like, all right, whether you're, in Kansas City or whatever, like, you like, yeah, I saw this is where I knew this is where they had to go, and this is where they're at.
Well, I've said basically since the Matt Rule hire, since his contract negotiations came out, and you look at where Nebraska ended their season last year, I think anything short of a bowl game this next year is a failure. And I know there's a lot of fans that have pushback on that. There's a lot of fans that don't agree with me on that. I don't think under any circumstance, I don't care who the head coach is. You are the University of Nebraska. You should not have less than 6 wins in the football season. TCU is in the national championship. Tulane's winning the Cotton Bowl. Like
Kansas.
Kansas made a bowl game, for crying out loud. You now have the longest streak in Power 5 without making a bowl game. And 25 years ago, you won a national championship. I'm not saying that Nebraska is going to be a national championship contender. They could be. But over the next 1 to 3 years, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to try and be realistic. I'm assuming they're going to get rid of the Big Ten West sooner than later.
Yeah.
But there's no reason that you can't be in the conversation. For crying out loud, Purdue's in that conversation now. Purdue for years was a joke. Like, Nebraska is not on that same wavelength. They're not on the same field. Anything less than 6 wins in any season, I don't care if it's a first year, is a failure. And I think in 3 years, Nebraska should be an 8-9 win football team. You should be playing for a bowl that matters. Maybe it's the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Right.
Maybe like a military bowl. Like, I don't know. Like one of those bowls that you have a team that might be like 24-25, a team unranked, 8-9 win team. But this reality that just because it's his first year, you can't win 6 football games is garbage to me. I think that's trash.
Right.
And I don't think that anyone should be okay with that.
Is it a disappointment if they don't make a bowl?
I think it should be.
It should be.
It should be, but is it? Because, yes, I mean, you went through the schedule, Jay. I talked myself into every single one of those games you did. It makes a lot of sense to me. Nebraska should win those games like you laid out. But will that program do it? And if the staff doesn't make a bowl the first year, I think there'd be a lot of people not saying you guys, but a lot of people say, bowl game or bust, or if they don't make a bowl game, well, why'd we bring them in? We can't trust them.
Yeah.
Again, there is some turnover, so you can, I think a bowl should be a realistic expectation.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, if they get to 5 and they drop a game they shouldn't,
right,
what does it look like? Who did they lose to? How did it happen?
Optics is huge.
Yes.
Now, there's the funny thing is there's a big difference from 4 wins to 5 wins. It's huge. 4 wins, you ain't have no chance to making a bowl game.
Right.
5, like you said,
like how Nebraska was at the end of the season,
right,
you weren't going to make a bowl game.
Right. You could, but if you're at 5, and then
you're going into Black Friday with stakes,
or last 2 games, you say a quarterback gets hurt, you have a rash of injuries or something like that. Then you can all right, you can kind of give them a pass. But if we're in like year 2, and we're teeter-totter and tiptoeing up to the bowl game, there might be you could start to hear the echoes of the ladies singing,
but
just
that's
faintly.
And that brings up a whole nother discussion. I want to take a station ID real quick, and we're gonna continue this conversation. Stay with us for just a second.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
That brings up a different conversation, and I'll ask you, Jay, because you've seen coaches come and go now. You've seen the program that you won 3 national championships for not even make a bowl game, the longest streak in Power 5, which is ridiculous. If Matt Rule isn't at that bowl game level after 2-3 seasons, I know the discussions are going to be had, but then do you make a move again? I mean, like,
no,
because that's the thing is you put yourself in this situation.
I don't think it'll get to that point. I really don't. But even if it just by chance did, and just no, you can't. You've already you've handcuffed yourself and jumped in there. You got to ride it. You got to ride it out, and then you got to adjust on the way. As you'd have to make adjustments on the way, even if you won 8 games next year, just because the talent might be different. The expectations, both internally and externally, will rise once you have your first, winning season. So you're going to have to adjust. If you're winning, you're going to lose coaches because I'm assuming that they're going to get other opportunities and jobs. So then you're going to have to not restart, but you're going to have to, shift gears a little bit. So, but I don't think it gets there. I think these guys the staff is set up that the 4 main guys are your veterans, and then everybody else is pretty young and inexperienced. That doesn't mean that they're not good coaches, because at one point in time, Coach Osborne was a young coach.
Got to start somewhere.
At one point in time, Frank Solis was a young coach. At one point in time, Urban Meyer was a young coach. Everybody everybody's been in this position. So, how well they gel and how well they are able to flourish, and then maybe, curtail some, and get them along the process of not only developing the players, but developing your coaches along the way is probably just as big as any type of star rating or whoever you get to come in here. Because the more continuity that they can get in year 2 or 3, that's when you can go from a big jump from, say, 7 wins to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you would like to think that the 4 main guys can take a step back from holding guys' hands. Because I'm assuming with all the young guys, all these other coaches that have coached longer, which you're talking about the 2 coordinators, and then obviously with the special teams coordinator and Matt Rule, that they're going to be along the process with the guys that are very green. So it's not just the young receiver coach, young DB coach. They're going to have some help, which is as you should.
Of course.
So, I just think that, the expectation should always be high. You shouldn't be playing football to make, to prove somebody else wrong. You need to prove yourself right. If you think you're the best, go out there and prove that you're, prove it to yourself that you're right. Forget proving somebody wrong, because a lot of times they're thinking that you're having to prove them wrong. They're not even giving you an honest evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, your biggest opponent is yourself, and that's been Nebraska's biggest opponent.
So as a player, would you say there's a difference between like having that self-belief, that confidence that I can do this, people wrote me out, versus like a chip on your shoulder? Is there a difference between those, or is that just 2 ways of saying the same thing?
It's a little bit of both. It just kind of depends on what was said to you, right?
Sure.
And that's gonna, if you're a guy that's been looked over and then looked over once or twice, like Stetson Bennett, he's got a huge chip on his shoulder.
As he should.
I think Baker Mayfield is the chip.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah.
And some guys play better that way. But how long you can play that way sometimes have a shelf life. Baker Mayfield, when he's pissed off, is really good. But to get to that point to where you're that emotionally pissed off, it's not every week somebody's going to say that to you. You have to find a way to be self-motivated. You have to find a way to understand there's going to be 1,000 times more people telling you that you can't be good versus the few that can tell you that they believe in you. But people can't believe in you any more than you believe in yourself. So where does that come from? Right? The chicken and the egg thing.
Sure.
Now it starts from doing the process or whatever everybody likes to say, but it's the foundation and your core values and how you work at it. And that's where your confidence comes from. Like my confidence as a freshman and sophomore is totally different. Well, my freshman year being out there, you're playing, you're confident in that because you're out there, you earned it. But every game I'm still learning, right? So I'm thinking it. And then when you get towards the middle of the season, your freshman year, you're knowing it. Then you challenge yourself again. Then you really start believing it. Then it becomes just a way of life. Then it's like everything that you do. And so it's a process. Like, I always tell people the Grant Wisham that left isn't the Grant Wisham that showed up. That's what you want. The Amir Abdullah that came here isn't the Amir Abdullah that left. So if they can get more guys where you get guys like that where you like see the improvement and everybody's pushing and pulling in the right way, then you can be a consistent program because the guys that'll come in will be watching Austin work, Nate work, and they'll replicate that. Football players replicate what they see. If you want a perfect example, Taylor Martinez, I used to call him like Daryl LaMonica, the Mad Bomber. He would drop back and literally throw that ball up out of the screen and just hope for a pass interference or a lucky catch, right?
Sure.
Tommy Armstrong did the same thing. People used to get mad at Tommy. Don't be mad at Tommy. Be mad at what was allowed to go on before. What they call it, YOLO ball or what? YOLO?
Yeah.
He doing the same thing that he been taught. The reason why I was blessed, I saw Troy Dumas and Clint Brown work, Phil Ellis work, Ed Stewart. That's all I did. That's all. I mean, you literally are going to copycat what you see.
As a program, I mean, it's clear player development hasn't been where it needs to be in Nebraska. As a player, you're in that locker room, you're in the weight room. I mean, you said the strength conditioning guys the one that gets the most time with those players. How much of that is, the coaches not being good enough, not getting through the players, and how much of it is on the players themselves?
I'm a big believer, self-motivated, making yourself. I think you get out what you put into it. Coaches and coaches. Now, granted, I'm sure. Look, man, I'm sure. Hopefully, coaches would tell you that they could done stuff better. Ideally, you'd like to think that there's some sort of humility. They're like, man, I wish we could have done this, or wish I would have done this, right? So the fault, everything when the players don't play well or they don't get better, then everybody wants to blame the coaches. Well, there's got to be some self accountability. You can't be, 40, 50 pounds overweight and then be talking about the coaches. You can't be a guy that loses 10, 15 pounds because you go on a break. So you're not working. You're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting the coach. And then also you're losing trust between your teammates. They might not tell you, but they're seeing it. So that has nothing to do with the coaching because the coaches are not telling you to go home and lose everything that you built up. This is an accountability business, dude. You are accountable not only to yourself, but everybody else on the team. So, I don't know. I wasn't privy to all those situations. I know that, the previous coach or weight staff, they knew what they were doing. I mean, they just did the turnaround down there at UCF. They probably have like a little bit more talent, or whatever, in a little bit easier league. But at the end of the day, you got to put into it. And it takes a ton of sacrifice, man. And I think that's the thing that these guys didn't know before. You have got to sacrifice if you want to play football. If you want to be good, if you want to just be average, just continue to do what we've been doing. If you want to be good or great, you gotta give up something. That's the hard thing about sports. That's why it sucks.
It's rewarding, though.
Well, it is. It sucks. Sports always suck, right? Sure. You got to sacrifice and work hard. You're out there running in the heat all the time, running into 300-pound linemen. So when you decide to play sports, a lot of times it sucks because there's a lot of hard work. So if you already know it's going to suck, then make the best out of it.
That's all you can do.
Because it sucks more when you lose.
Yeah.
So that being said, we're going to take a break. and these Fighting Jay Foreman's about to break their foot up into some
That's
other
right.
nigga school's
You
butt.
be coaching them up?
Yeah, it's
There
old
you go.
school going to a break. Nate and Austin's going to take you guys home. You know what I'm saying? If you see a bunch of 14, 15, 16-year-olds running down O Street and that Tahoe running after them, that's us. We're putting that press against them, baby.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app wherever you are. And the ticket and theticketfm.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-clean protein powder ideal for anyone wanting to look better, feel better, or perform better. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air. When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at 435-5555.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air. John Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying at GarnerIndustries.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, this morning will give way to afternoon sunshine. We'll see a high of around 35. Tonight, mostly clear and calm conditions expected. We'll see a low of around 18. And tomorrow, more sunshine, a little bit warmer tomorrow, too. We'll see a high of around 40. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Footballer Jay Orton.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in, Old School 93.7 The Ticket. My name's Nate Brennan. Stepping in for DP and Jay today. And I've got Austin with me as well. So if you guys don't already know, as I've been saying throughout the past couple weeks, I have accepted the job in Kansas City. No longer going to be around for On the Block. No longer around for Old School. Want to make sure you guys know, too, how much you mean to me. I always tell people I'm just a kid from Virginia, never stepped foot in Nebraska in my entire life, offered a job, finessed my way back into radio. I started in radio back in Virginia, finessed my way back in, got to meet DP, got to meet the gang here at 93.7 The Ticket. And seriously, what's made Nebraska so great is the people, and all of our listeners are included in that. I can't express how much I'm thankful for all of you. You guys welcome me with open arms. Again, I had no connection to Nebraska, but I leave, and this is one of the most important things in my life now. So you guys, I will credit you for that, because now you've made me a crazy Nebraska fan, but you guys will be in good hands with Austin. 402-464-5685, Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Aim and Text Line. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter at Starter Aim and Jewelers video stream. Let's bring him in. Austin, what's going on, man? How are you liking things so far? I know it can be kind of a lot the first couple of days being thrown into the fire, but you seem to be holding it down so far.
You know, I appreciate you guys bringing me along slowly, hopefully, surely, eventually.
Right.
Yeah, just getting to know everyone, getting to know the audience, the vibe, I guess, for lack of a better word. You know, computer's a computer, mouse is a mouse. You touch a button, you know, you're on air, you're off air, you're playing a block, you're not. That stuff will come, but it's been nice to see friendly, smiling faces. No one's cold shouldered me so far, so appreciate everyone here.
That's the ticket, and that's how it works. And you look like you have a good head on your shoulders, which will be a big adjustment for everyone, because
it's a face for radio, so unfortunately we're streaming. But
that's the one benefit, is that they throw me on TV. So I always thought I had a face for radio, but someone decided differently, and here I am. So it's definitely good to have you. Welcome to the team. I know I won't be around for it, but it sounds like you'll be able to share, because as people know, I have quite a few hot takes and I say a lot of blasphemous things. So
we'll keep the ACC vibe going, though.
That's right. I don't know if I'm a big supporter of Duke, but as long as you throw a couple ACC things in there, my Hokie homerism probably won't be missed as much. Again, 402-464-5685. Want to hear from you guys. So let's talk about it a little bit, because I think that I'm not frustrated that Sam Hartman left for Notre Dame, and we can have a bigger discussion about the transfer portal. My frustration is what it's become. So Sam Hartman, for people that aren't aware, starting quarterback at Wake Forest, now the all-time leader for passing touchdowns in ACC history.
He'll be passed by Drake May, but for now.
He probably will be. But as it currently stands, all-time leader in pass touchdowns. I think the writing was on the wall. You knew he was going to move on. He decided to stay another year at Wake Forest this year, had a bit of a health scare to start the season, finishes out strong. You knew he was going to move on. My frustration with the transfer portal, and I don't know if I'm worried that Nebraska is going to fall victim to this, but I don't think that they're susceptible to it, is you have the schools like the Notre Dame, you have the schools like the Michigan, the Ohio States, the Georgias, these top tier schools. You have a Wake Forest that you're basically a farm system at this point. And I think that's my frustration, because Sam Hartman, I don't know if you saw this, but on Twitter specifically, they still had a bowl game to play, and it had already been released that he is the front runner to be the next starting quarterback at Notre Dame. And something about that just rubs me the wrong way because
it's wrong.
Something is happening behind the scenes, and we can say it's not pay for play. We can say that there's no collusion going on or anything like that. I don't buy it because how come the best quarterback or one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, a Power 5 conference, has already decided before he plays his bowl game where he's going to go, and it just so happens to be a blue blood? That doesn't sit with me the right way.
The Athletics #1 transfer player available, yeah, he's going to have people talking to him when they shouldn't be or not supposed to be. It's not surprising that it happens. I mean, it's been happening since the dawn of college football. We have to be honest with ourselves. This isn't new. Even if the transfer portal and the way it's being handled is new-ish, this kind of stuff, these conversations have been going on since sports have happened. It just sucks because Wake Forest, like you said, not a traditional power by any sense of the imagination.
Had some success with Sam Hartman.
Right. A.T. Perry,
right?
Stud, Dave Clawson, the slow mesh sort of offense. They've done
great coach.
Yes. Done some, I don't want to say revolutionary, but some innovative stuff on the offensive side of the ball. And that's what I think is good for college football is when there aren't just the blue bloods. Now, that's why we're expanding from a 14 playoff to 12 sooner than later. Try to get some new people in. And that's why I still think
Group of 5 is guaranteed in that.
Right. And think about a school like Wake Forest. That's not a college football playoff team. Even last year when they were better, not a college football playoff team, but they get, a New Year's Six bowl or a New Year's Day bowl, something like that, where that's really good for that program. It gives them something to still shoot for while knowing, hey, this is probably our outlier season. It's going to be really hard for us to sustain this. But for this group of guys, they put in the effort, they put in the work, they get to go to a good bowl game. That's an accomplishment for this university. I know success is success. Championships are championships. It's a very rings culture that we're in. But I do think to some level, success does have to be relative. Sam Hartman did stuff at Wake Forest that hardly anyone has ever done.
Right.
It set records at Wake Forest like no other Wake Forest quarterback had before. And it's schools like that and situations like that you want to be able to celebrate those players. How is that school going to think of Sam Hartman? He did so much good for that university. Took him to new heights. And then he just dips. He's just gone. Not to say that, players shouldn't be allowed to leave. Clearly, that shouldn't be the case. If something's wrong, they need to go somewhere else. Or, you play yourself into that kind of bigger role to bigger school. Sure, more power to you. You did that work. But I think it should be more of a credit to the players that, stick at their school for 4 years, that accomplish new things for that institution that we should praise more so than we should knock Sam Hartman. Hate the player or hate the game, not the player.
I think, and I agree with you, and I think the transfer portal, there will be ramifications, and I think it'll change a little bit because the current way that it's constructed, I don't think is a long-term solution, and I don't think the NIL is either. The problem that I've had with the transfer portal since day one, it's not kids transferring. It's not kids taking money to go to other schools. Listen, they have a talent that I will never possess. I will never be a Division I football player. I will probably never excel to my position, my role, the way that a Bryce Young does, where he's worth a $4 million NIL deal, or throw out a Drake May is probably going to get a handsome NIL. Okay, I understand that. These players should be rewarded for that. My problem,
but what kind of reward is it?
Right, and the thing is too, if you're Sam Hartman and you think that Notre Dame gives you the opportunity to elevate your game, improve your draft stock, compete for a national championship, do it. Good for you. Mm-hmm. You have excelled at a high level that gives you the ability to do it. My problem is these schools stepping in and noticing a talent that's Sam Hartman and saying, we'll give you X that Wake Forest cannot give you. And it's been going on forever, and it always will happen. But the thing is that we've reached the point now that it's so out in the open. Like we can say that this has been happening. This wasn't. I mean, think about the top college quarterbacks. Say, for example, a David Carr goes to Fresno State, the number 1 overall pick in the draft. That kid has one good season at Fresno State.
He's gone.
And that's the college football that we live in. So it's and I want to make myself clear because I feel like a lot of people always misconstrue what I'm saying. I have no problem with Sam Hartman going to Notre Dame. I'm happy for the kid.
He earned it.
I think it's going to elevate his draft stock. I think he's going to make more money. And I can never hate on someone for that. I can be frustrated with the situation.
The system.
Because you look at a school like a Wake Forest, and the same thing happened last year at Pittsburgh with Jordan Addison. You look at these schools, there's nothing you can do. And the rich are going to get richer, and I know that's life, that's the system. But the thing is, at the end of the day, at what point is that not beneficial for a kid? Because at the end, and I know that we talk about now with NIL, they're probably not kids. But you look at these situations, Sam Hartman, I believe, is 23, 24 years old. He can make these decisions. You talk to an 18, 19-year-old kid, you have one good season at an institution, and then someone throws you money. Is that what's best for you in the moment? Is that what's best for your career? Is that what's best for your future? I don't know if they can answer that. And I think that's wrong.
Definitely in the moment, it's probably better. If you get to a, bigger, better school, quote unquote, it's probably better in the moment. It's a better short-term situation for football. At least you think that's why you make that move. For the career, again, on the surface, I'm sure it looks like it. You're going to some place that'll get you drafted higher, give you more money, which, I don't say never hurt anyone, but gave people more wiggle room, I guess. You can't answer those questions till you look back. And that's where I think sometimes we're quick to judge kids' motivation. Again, kids, not kids, players' motivations when they make these decisions. Maybe it is motivated by money. Sometimes it seems like it's really easy to tell when guys are moving because they got a better deal. I mean, look at Nigel Pack, moving from Kansas State to Miami. Before he even signed, the Miami booster says, oh yeah, here's what we're giving him. That's a money grab, and I don't like that necessarily. But unless we know for sure, see, like, hey, this kid's getting this much, he wasn't getting this back here. It's hard for me to, the easy thing to do is to say, yep, he's going for the money. I tend to want to believe that kids do have good advisors around them. That
you would hope.
I know there's so many cases where they don't, and they make the rash decision. They go for money, they get their ego puffed up, and they make that decision to move, and it all falls apart or doesn't go according to plan. And that sucks, because as much as college athletics are, an entertainment product as big as they've become for guys like you and me who watch it and then we come on the air the next day and talk about it, it's also about the student athletes. It has to be. They're the ones that are out there playing. It's their future that they've made the decision to play. It's their future that they're putting on the line every time they walk out there on a field. So more so than the transfer portal being bad or NIL being bad, rather than focusing on that aspect of it, don't try to take those away. Don't try to demean kids for taking advantage of the system in place. Mm-hmm. Try to make sure there are as many guardrails in the system as possible to help kids make the most informed decisions they can. Because you and I's opinion of what's best for a kid is probably different than theirs in a lot of cases. But as long as the player can look themselves in the mirror and say, I made this decision for reason X, Y, Z, and I'm comfortable with it, I have no leg to stand on to tell them they're wrong.
I agree. And I've always said that too. I think that in all of this, we're starting to forget what's best for the kid. And I think they're the only ones that can answer this. Before we go to break, I want to answer what Husker Soft says here. Don't the smaller schools benefit from the kids in the portal that transfer down for playing time? Yes, in a sense, but I think when you look at this, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. And you have a school like Wake Forest. You have Sam Hartman, one of the better quarterbacks in college football, and he's going to move up. And you're going to get someone that didn't get the playing time and moves down. I'm not going to throw shade at anyone. I'm not going to single anyone out. We had guys that came to the University of Nebraska that did exactly that. And guess what? They never saw the field. And when they did not perform at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality. And that's going to happen. And there are going to be circumstances where that works out great. You look at Trey Palmer, didn't get the playing time at LSU. Now he's looking to be a second, third round draft pick. Boom.
Just like that.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not always the reality. It's not. And it's not going to be.
And even if the players that enter the transfer portal, only about 50% end up at the FBS level. Not just Power 5, but FBS level overall. They go FCS. They go Division 2. Because for as many kids enter the portal, it's not just a one spot. You're not just trading them within the FBS teams. There are guys transferring up from FCS. Think of Jabril Cox. Yeah, JUCO. those spots are filled. So these guys that were, at one point thought to be Division I football players, either they couldn't hack it or, it wasn't the best situation for them, so they transfer. There's not necessarily a spot guaranteed. Just because you want to go to a Power 5, say you're an Alabama player, you're not getting the playing time, you want to transfer somewhere else, Power 5. Just because you went to Alabama, you might get a couple more offers. That doesn't mean people are automatically lining up at your door. The odds are not in your favor in terms of how the math works out to find another Power 5 landing spot where you think you want to go. Even Group of 5, there are so many instances where, sure, on the surface, it looks like, oh, yeah, you're a Group of 5 program. They'd be lucky to have this guy if they can get him.
Group of 5 is getting a lot better.
Group of 5 is better.
They have elevated their game.
They have. And again, these schools are so used to doing just regular recruiting with the under-the-radar gems. They're built, I think, in a way that sometimes they can afford to take flyers on it. You're lucky to have me type of transfer down. But more often than not, those guys are going to kill that culture. Coaches don't want that.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example too. I mean, you look at a Tulane. They don't need those 4- and 5-star guys in the transfer portal. What they're doing right now is successful, and they're probably going to stick with that blueprint. We got to take a quick break. You listen to Old School 93.7 The Ticket. This is Austin. He's taking over for me here next week. We're going to get to know him coming up next on Old School. Stay with us.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School, DP and J on 3-7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Headquarters for basketball and volleyball is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit, and you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour, an opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo-shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com. Because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three. People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? A journey to distant, deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in flavors of margaritas like Maui Wow, Pine, and Mango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shout out to DP. Every single time I hear this song, makes me think of him. Nate Brennan filling in for DP and Jay on Old School. Austin's joining me as well. DP just talked to his wife, Rebecca. He's in good spirits. His procedure went well. You will hear him next week. So he's taking today and tomorrow off, resting, making sure that everything is going well for him. So our thoughts and prayers, as always, are with him. He will be back next week, though, so not too long without him. Jay will be back tomorrow as well. He had some Jay Foreman things to do. Austin, that's the one thing I've noticed is when it comes to Jay, Strick, you throw Rashawn into that group. These former athletes, they're just doing their thing is usually the best way to do it. I couldn't describe it. I'm not a former athlete. I usually just say they're doing them. They're doing their thing. 402-464-5685. Honda Blinken Hotline. Sorry, Raymond text line. Nate Brennan, Austin filling in as well. So he's going to be taking over for me on the block with Strick. He's going to be board op here for Old School. So he's going to be taking my old role for one that hasn't heard quite yet, or you're just hearing for the first time. I'm moving on to Kansas City. So it was a tough decision. It's very bittersweet. Lincoln has been a great community to me. It's just one of those things. It's time to elevate, time to go to the next step, time to whatever you want to call it is going on to the big city. So that's the next step for me. But you guys are going to be in good hands with Austin. So, Austin, I'll let you take it away. I got a few questions for you. So when I first joined here, it feels like it was just yesterday, but it was about a year ago now. This is how Bach introduced me. So I was doing the water cooler with Bach at the time. He just threw random questions at me, just kind of rattled them off. But before anything, I'll let you introduce yourself, your background, and what brings you to the ticket.
So, yeah, I'm Austin, born and raised here in Lincoln. Not an outsider like you, Nate. No,
Yes.
I've been here. I plan to stay here. If I was to go someplace, Kansas City, not a bad place to be.
There you go.
Do enjoy
All
me some
right.
KC.
Come
so
join me. There you go.
maybe take you out to Royals game to thank you for helping me get on board
Yes,
here at
absolutely.
some point. So, yeah, big Husker fan. You're not done with the ACC talk here, people. You're getting rid of the Virginia Tech guy, but I am a Duke basketball fan. Yeah, Royals fan, also Colts fan, so that's staying the same.
Same, I love it.
Heck yeah. Got my wife Olivia. She is absolutely wonderful. Love her to pieces. She works in Lincoln as well. But yeah, I've been at the Husker Sports Network and then at AM 590 before this, and excited to be not commuting to Omaha every day. So this is about 15 minutes from where I live compared to the 45 or 50 one way I was driving before. So nice to be home. That's what I'll say. Nice to be home here in Lincoln.
Nice to be home, and it's good to have you, man. It's a shame we couldn't work together too much longer, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Again, it's going to be fun. You're going to have a good time. It's a great place to be. The Ticket is really making strides too, as everyone knows. The new downtown location open up here in a few
like
months.
7 minutes from my house. It's going to be awesome.
That's going to be awesome, and it is the setup that DP and Rebecca have too is absolutely amazing. You won't be able to miss it too. It's right in the middle of downtown. Got huge glass windows. You'll be able to see what's going on in studio. Lots of great things happening here at the Ticket, so it'll be fun too. So I'll go ahead and rattle off a few questions for you too, and if you guys have any questions for Austin, you can let us know. 402-464-5685 Sutter Heyman text line. So I'll throw it out here. What's the first one we want to start out? Okay, what's the worst food you've ever tried?
Oh, worst food I've ever tried. Oh man. So that's the thing about me and food. I don't want to say I'm a picky eater because I'll eat about anything, but I have a very simple set of taste buds. I don't need a lot of sauce. I don't need a lot of sauce.
Okay.
Just give it to me plain. Worst food though.
Or I guess your least favorite food.
Not a big veggies guy. I'll say Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are pretty bad. I get Brussels sprouts with bacon.
Then. Okay.
No, here's the thing. I tried them with bacon, but that just ruins the bacon. Plain and simple, it ruins the bacon. It does. So yeah, I'll say Brussels sprouts. Okay. Bottom of my list.
Brussels sprouts. Mine's always been broccoli. It always will be.
I don't hate broccoli. Good chicken Alfredo with some broccoli. I'm here for it.
Pecan Pie wants to know high school you went to and youth sports or sports you played growing up.
Okay, so I went to Lincoln Lutheran for high school here, just a few blocks away.
Oh yeah,
56th Street between Vine and Holdridge. In high school, I played baseball and basketball. A 1-year varsity starter. Would have been 2, but I busted my finger up real bad my junior year, so started basketball my senior year. 3-year starter for baseball, playing the outfield, mostly corner, played some center in Legion ball. Played football through middle school, decided that wasn't for me. And I am coaching middle school basketball right now and hopefully adding some Legion baseball in the summer as well.
Nice. What post?
Just post 3, the Lincoln Lutheran team.
Okay, so I was post 137. No one's probably ever heard of that because it's in Richmond, Virginia, but that was my post. Nyla wants to know, do you like hockey? And if so, what team?
I do not have a hockey team. The closest I would ever come to claiming a team would be the Mavs just up the road. So at 590, we'd have Mike Gabnett, the Omaha hockey head coach in. So Gabs is an awesome guy.
Nice.
I wish him nothing but the best. I don't understand hockey in the slightest. I can't say I'm a fan of it, but I've been to a few Mavs games. I've always enjoyed my time there. So I'm not anti-hockey. I would like to get into hockey probably a little bit more, but I will not claim a team.
Have you been to a Stars game?
I have not.
We will work on that. I know Gene might be listening right now. Gene, if he has not been to a Stars game, so we will hook him up and we will make sure. I know Corey is really in tune with the Stars too, so we got a lot of Stars fans at this station, so we'll definitely hook you up with that. Barry says, is ketchup okay on hot dogs?
No.
What?
I mean, for other people, yeah, I'm not going to have it, though.
What do you put on your hot dog?
Nothing.
You plain hot dog.
Plain hot dog.
You really don't like the sauce?
Nope.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I will say, now, Chicago hot dogs are too far, but I usually do ketchup and mustard.
I can respect it.
Maybe
that's
chili.
Just not me.
You just plain hot dog.
Plain hot dog.
So if you're going to the stadium, you're going to the ballpark, you don't get out the little packets. You just
plain red dog.
House of hot dog. Well, all right. Fair enough. Johnny Cortland wants to know, do you fish or hunt?
I have gone a couple times each, but I would not consider myself an avid fisherman or hunter. Okay. Not patient enough.
Okay. Yeah, I used to fish a little bit. I've never been hunting, but I used to fish a little bit, and yeah, I lost patience pretty quick. Barry says good answer, so he doesn't like ketchup on his hot
Yeah,
dogs.
Barry. Let's go.
And then Pecan Pie says, "Are you going to join Nick's co-ed softball team?" So
if I'm invited,
I was on the softball team, but I'll let you know now. There was a lot of controversy that surrounded that softball team because it was he's on an all men's team that I wasn't invited to, and neither was Rico. And there was a bit of controversy. He invited Strick. Strick decided not to play. It was what it was. So it all just kind of blew up, and we just let it be. Nick has a co-ed team, and as you know, Austin, my girlfriend played softball at Nebraska. So the way to get me in was, hey, does Carly want to play on the softball team? I guess you can play too. So I got on the softball team. Yeah. Right. So they really were trying to get to my girlfriend, who is far better at softball than I am. So they got her on the team. I was on the team. Rico was still left off the co-ed team. So it was a big controversy.
It feels like I'm behind Rico in the pecking order here for softball. Yeah, so but if I'm extended an invitation, I will play.
You'll have to ask Nick about the softball team because that's definitely a topic for discussion.
Should I ask, or is it a sore spot?
Here? No, you can ask about it. I would ask Nick. I wouldn't ask Rico.
Okay.
Rico could maybe be
it'd be a little touchy.
Steve drops the ball, says, "Is there anything better than Nebraska's original Runza?"
The Nebraskan answer would be no. I will say when I go to Runza, I'm a bacon cheeseburger guy, more so than a Runza guy.
I've heard their cheeseburgers are pretty good.
So I will partake in the Runza, but if I'm given my choice, I will have a bacon cheeseburger.
Bacon cheeseburger.
And Frank's. Frank's. Always Frank's.
Drumstick wants to know Die Hard trilogy or Terminator trilogy?
Die Hard.
I can't remember the last time I saw Die Hard. I've seen
number
Die Hard.
one.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Big time Christmas movie.
Okay.
It is a Christmas movie. My dad and I have the matching Nakatomi Plaza 1988 Christmas party T-shirts we wear every year.
Okay.
Christmas movie.
So you're a big fan of it.
Did you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I do not.
Okay.
Those aren't my kind of shows. Austin, you'll learn probably when you hear from people. I'm a very happy-go-lucky guy.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a comedy, my guy.
Is it a comedy?
Yes. Watch it.
Is it a little bit intense?
Not really.
Is it intense? See,
Not
I don't
really.
like shows I like shows that'll make me happy, make me laugh.
It's a
that kind of
comedy.
stuff.
Yes.
I don't
You will
watch
laugh
anything.
with Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, because I don't watch anything that's intense, scary. That's not my thing. Do you eat plain burgers too?
I mean, no ketchup or anything, but I'll dress it up with cheese and lettuce. And
so you really don't like the sauces then?
Not a sauce guy. Marinara sauce is good. Salsa I can do, and queso. That's really where I'm at with sauces, guys.
All right. Well, I'll ask you a couple more here that I've got for you. Do you have any weird superstitions?
I always like to make sure when I walk up or down stairs, I hit the landing with my right foot.
And you do that every time?
Every time. Count the steps on the way up. Make sure I got the steps right.
Is there a reason for that?
It just happened at one point. I don't know. Probably a reason at one point, but I've just done it so long, it's just kind of routine.
So you've been doing it since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Left side, put clothes on left side, then right side. Left sock, left shoe, right shoe.
Maybe I do that. I don't even. That's something I don't even pay attention to. So you make sure to specifically do that every time.
I've just done it so long, it just feels most natural. Left contact, right contact.
Okay, interesting. So right to left. Texter wants to know the best spot to eat in Lincoln.
Ooh, best spot to eat in Lincoln. There's so many good ones. Depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what the text line has to
say.
Yeah,
what do you want tonight? I can point you that direction.
Trying to think the best food that I've had since I've been in Lincoln. Oh my goodness. I still haven't had Honest Abe's burgers.
Get that before you go.
Here's the burger guy. I love burgers.
It's good. It's good. But again, I think it's more for the experience of saying, hey, I had Honest Abe's. It's a Lincoln thing.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, Tater wants to know. This is a good question, Tater. He says, when you eat pizza, do you get it without sauce?
No. Sauce goes on pizza.
So just the regular tomato sauce?
Yes. Here's the other thing. This might be a spicy take for pizza, but barbecue chicken pizza is the worst. I do not eat barbecue chicken pizza.
Interesting. So it only can be the tomato sauce.
Yep.
Actually, no. I would say the best place that I've ate is Mercado. Yes, if I'm making it myself, but the actual best place I've been to is probably Mary Ellen's. And that's not me just saying because I'm on the block.
They pay the bills.
That's not because they pay the bills. Legitimately, like Charles, he will do something to you. That dude, I mean, he can make food. Also, he's a New York Football Giants fan. So we talked to him about the Giants. Vincenzo's, that's a good one too.
Mary Ellen's is good. Vincenzo's is good.
Mary Ellen's is, and again, that's
Yaya's
not,
I enjoy.
That's Mary Ellen's is legit. That's probably my favorite. Last one we got for you. Pecan Pie is a good question, and this is how we really get to know you. Do you go for 2 for the win, or do you kick the extra point?
Depends on how the game's going.
Oh, come on.
Again, here's the thing. I am an analytics guy. I love them. I subscribe to them, but they don't dictate my every decision. So I think there has to be a balance between what do the numbers tell me to do and how's my team playing? How am I feeling about them right now? For the most part, I will say go for 2 in the win, because even if you miss it at that point, it's, hey guys, I believe in you. We're going to get these 3 yards. We're going to put those 2 points on the board. We win the game. Sometimes, though, discretion is the better part of valor. Sometimes, though, you've spent enough energy, trying to come back from down a lot. You kick the extra point to tie it, and then either ride the wave of momentum in overtime, or you need that second to regroup when you get to overtime.
Pecan Pie makes a good point. What if it's for the national title?
Again, I don't care what game it is. How's the game been going? Was I up a lot and I'm trying to hold on? Was I down a lot and I'm trying to complete a comeback? Was it back and forth? Momentum is not real, but it feels real, so I'm riding that a little bit.
Well, Pecan Pie, I'll have you know, I'm always going for 2. We'll be right back here on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download them and listen wherever you are. 937 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the midnight. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go be ready.
Waverly Select Plumbing, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technology. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefit for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancene.com.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at staffs.com.
Back to P&J.
Well, if you're feeling all right and you think you're on, somebody let me know. Well, everybody in the place put a whistle in your face, screaming out and say, yo, yeah.
One final segment here. You're listening to Old School 93.7 The Ticket. My name's Nate. He is Austin. Hope everyone had a great Thursday. We're starting the weekend off a little early. We had Kevin Meyer here from Meyer's Cork and Bottle. We're having a little fun. We got a little wine left over. He gave me a little Rick Ross, so I'm feeling myself here. We're gonna have.
Remember when that guy came to Lincoln?
I wasn't here for that, but I've heard about that. I've had multiple
Legendary
people tell me about that. Was
Not
it
really.
PBA?
It was for the opening night.
There was someone here recently that was in PBA.
They brought Waka Flocka Flame in.
Waka Flocka, that's who it was. I was about to say there was another rap artist that came recently.
Because someone else canceled, so they got Waka as the backup.
Waka Flocka, how about that? That was the Nebraska basketball.
Yeah, the opening night
too.
thing.
The opening night. Well, that was pretty cool. Again, 402-464-5685. Starter Raymond text line. Last thoughts. And Pecan Pie says he's bringing it up because Tom Osborne went for 2 and missed it in the 84 Orange Bowl.
Oh, did he now? Yes. Really? I'd never heard that growing up in Nebraska. Huh.
So I guess that's why he was bringing it up. I don't know. And it's a great question, and it's the question that will stand the test of time because I don't really think there's a right answer. I've always been to just go for the win guy. That might be wrong. I don't know.
I will say the more I watch Friday,
kicker. I don't like trusting.
Never trust college
No,
kickers.
no.
I firmly believe you never trust college
even if
kickers.
it's an extra point. I'm not a big I'm not a big kicking guy. I always say go for the 2. But that'll go ahead and do it for us today on Old School. Jay will be back tomorrow. DP will be back next week. I'm not sure if we're going to get an Eric Strickland sighting. As I've always said, he is doing strict things, as he always does. He was on the beach, then he was in England. Now he's going to be in Dallas. We don't really know what Eric Strickland's doing, but we might see him tomorrow. DP back next week. Austin will still be here tomorrow. It will be my last day, so it will be the last time that you hear me on the airwaves, at least in studio. Hopefully I'll be able to call in. I'll come see the new studio downtown. That's going to be in the works. We appreciate you. We will talk to you tomorrow. Listen 93.7 The Ticket. See you tomorrow.